everyone, happy WEBTOON Wednesday. Today I'm going to be talking about how to get my husband on my side. This is a fantasy romance. This is also like a transmigration one where someone is from like our world but then gets transmigrated into a novel. There is kissing so far, but there hasn't been anything more than that, at least as far as I've gotten. So it's pretty appropriate for all ages.
I'm going to be referring to the main female lead as Ruby, for this is her nickname and it's easier for me to pronounce. Now, Ruby is originally from our world, but she transmigrated into a novel she read once. She has been living as Ruby for a couple years, but unfortunately her seemingly perfect life is actually a nightmare. Not only is she the villain of the novel, but her family are monsters and incredibly abusive. In her previous life here on Earth was equally terrifying. Her only coping mechanism in her previous life and in her current life was anorexia, because she feels like this is the only thing she has control over. Her father, the Holy Pope, has been trying to marry her off for political gains. Her first marriage was annulled, but now she's getting married to a knight from the north who is a nephew of the Northern King. The fearsome knight isn't nearly as scary as her older brother, so leaving for a faraway land is a godsend. But she will miss her other brother, who has actually been kind to her. Her new world is very different from what she's used to. Right away, she runs into danger. But the monsters aren't the only threat to Ruby. She needs to figure out who is on her side and who isn't. Work on getting her cold husband to warm up to her and trust her so she doesn't die like in the original novel. On top of all that, Ruby still has to try to find a way to get along with her in-laws, to figure out what's going on with the church function that's in the north, and to deal with the servants in her new home, along with her new relatives, friends, and extended family as well. Luckily, though, it's not all doom and gloom. This webtoon does have some very comical and funny moments in it that will definitely lighten the mood as you're reading along. To protect herself and deceive everyone, she puts on an act and plays the part in order to survive. But will her acting be enough to survive in the north, and will her husband trust her and keep her safe?
I really feel bad for the main female character in this one just because of how rough her life was here, and then to go into like this fantasy novel and like be thinking everything is going to be like fine and dandy or better, and it's just garbage. Is just, it hurts my brain just how rough it is. And not only that, it was rough at her new home, like her fantasy home with her mom and dad and brothers, but then when she gets to her new home with her husband, it's not that it's just as bad, but it's like a different kind of bad. She has to deal with all these new things and situations and political crap and people being shady and backstabby, and it's, oh, the drama of it is just wild. But I do like how, I don't want to say manipulative the main female character is, but she's clever in a sense that she acts accordingly to how she believes is best going to help her survive. So when she first meets her husband, she thinks that she needs to be like really cute and sad, and if that doesn't work, then she's like, I'll just be like super fan and be like, I love you a whole lot. So she's trying to figure out what kind of personality she needs to portray to make the Duke love her or trust her. Just like what she did with her brother, she had to, be kind and innocent and loving towards her, older abusive brother, to just kind of keep him appeased so he wouldn't like beat her and hurt her. So that kind of survival instinct or a method I can appreciate, because I think everybody at one point or time in their life like fakes it till they make it, so I do like that aspect. I also like how her own strength or power comes out later on, and you can see that, and it's good that she actually has something that she can provide or do. So it's not like she's just a pretty face or a lady in distress. There's something she can actively do to help out her husband and her new community, which I appreciated, because you kind of sometimes just the whole damsel in distress with nothing gets a little tiresome. Okay, I do think that the male lead is very handsome. I think he's drawn really well. I think they're both drawn really well, but the male lead for sure is drawn very nicely. I like the relationship they have together. Again, they don't just like fall immediately into love. It's another one of those where they actually build trust in a relationship and communication and working through like all those things. And I find it really endearing how much her husband actually does like her and want to keep her safe, happy, and healthy. And she doesn't necessarily recognize it because she's just been like hurt and betrayed so much that she's very skeptical. So I do like how their relationship is growing and actually maturing. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen next. It's still ongoing. So it hasn't even gotten to the part where her evil brother meets her husband. So I'm looking forward to that and that kind of interaction and what's going to happen. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you later. Bye, everyone.